You didn't even get to one, man.
We don't say the one.
You blinked it.
Uh, It's you hit the button. That's how you know I'm passing it back.
That's how you know.
Yeah, but we did, this is why we do our meetings so that we know.
Yay! We win. We made it.
Yay!
We made it. Da, 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 da. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. It's the Double Cup of Joe show. I'm your host, Joe.
I'm just some other random guy here.
You are, man. You're good looking, though. I'll tell you. Look at that guy. He's like, this is like the early morning face.
Hmm.
Yes. I'm telling you, man, you just have to burn off your taste buds so you can drink coffee and then you'll be just fine. ah, well, Joe, a man of many words. At any rate, it's Tuesday morning. We're talking about confidence. What it's not, yo. So we're gonna get into that here shortly. But first, I gotta ask, how you doing today, Joe?
Who?
How you doing, random other guy?
Yeah, there we go. I am the random other guy who may or may not be named Joe. I'm doing. I'm. We will see how long it takes me to get used to this early time frame. But otherwise, I'm doing quite well. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. I always wonder how you're doing. How's everybody doing in the chat? I see Takahashi's here. I see Tef. I see Static. I see Jeffrey. And I see some guy named Sedivanal. That guy is.
So definitely.
He's upset with YouTube's.
Yep,
Ah,
that's
but
fair.
anyway, it's great to see all of you guys here. We're gonna start off our day the right way with the 3-step process. 3.
Oh, hold
Not
something already.
5.
Oh,
With what are you thankful for? What are you looking forward to? And what are you going to do today to move your life forward? And I will pose the question to all of you in the chat, as well as to my esteemed companion, random other guy. What are
you.
you thankful for today?
Why are you asking me? I'm just a random other guy.
I know. But you know what? The world wants to know.
Oh, yeah. I'm thankful for my bed. It's super nice and soft. I
You've got an obsession.
have an obsession. No, this weekend I went home and visited family, and the bed was not very soft, and it was like slanted,
Mm,
so I kept almost rolling off the bed.
mm.
My bed doesn't do that to me, which is super nice.
Wow, that's got to be a weird feeling. Was it slanted to the side or slanted to the? Must have
To,
been to the
to
side.
the side, so yeah, like I was waking up every few hours, like dangling off, like I'm gonna fall. That feeling of like falling that wakes you up in the middle of the night, like I had
Hmm.
that like all night. It's really disorienting.
Wow. So, but you weren't about to steamroller your wife, though.
If she was on the floor, but thankfully she wasn't on the floor.
She was on the other side. Was she
Yeah,
steamrollering you?
no, thankfully. Well, maybe. I remember only having like a small portion of the bed. Like
Ah,
I am 2 and some change feet wide, and I had 2 feet of bed space, so
ah.
that
See,
might have been a
probably
contributing factor to the rolling off the bed thing.
now this was at your parents' house.
Yes.
So I think now I'm not. I could be mistaken, but
Mm.
maybe they just want some grandkids.
Ah,
So they
yes.
figured this might encourage that.
That makes sense. It's very logical, actually. Yes, that makes much sense.
Nice try.
Ah, Joe, I can't get up this early. How am I supposed to deal with children?
Oh my goodness, you're gonna be just fine. It's, kids will make you do some amazing stuff. Jeff's thankful for a rechargeable razor. Tef's thankful for the person Rosuth. I don't know how to pronounce that. To pick out the laptop. That's awesome. Takahashi's thankful for fast internet. I love fast internet. Snowlock's here by accident. Welcome. Anyway, what are you thankful for, Snowlock? We're thankful that you're here by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can be thankful you're not using dial-up. That's
Oh man.
I don't think
Remember
any
that?
of them know what that is.
Dial-up was amazing. It made all kinds of funny noises when you connected, tied up your phone line.
Trying to make a phone call. Get off the computer.
Snowlock's thankful for Dunkin' Donuts. I would be much more thankful for Dunkin' Donuts if they were safe for my youngest son who has a severe tree nut allergy.
Oh,
Can't buy him
nuts.
can't buy him stuff from Dunkin' Donuts.
Nuts is in the name. That could be problematic.
I know, man. I know. But at any rate, so that's step number 1. What are you thankful for? Step number 2, what are you looking forward to? So I encourage your responses. Random other guy.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to sleeping in your level bed so you don't have to roll off and onto the floor?
Yes, I'm just gonna pull the Jeff. Same thing.
Thankful for my bed. Looking forward to my bed. I'm gonna go to bed.
Honestly, I'm reaching that stage where like my sleep time is hopefully gonna shift, because if it doesn't, like, I'm gonna start falling asleep at the wheel or something.
Well, don't be doing that.
Oh yeah, because I'm definitely trying to fall asleep while I drive, Joe. I put my pillow in there to get myself.
Not even a neck pillow. No neck pillows while you're driving. Blast
Heck
some
no.
dreadnoughts. Sleep is for the weak.
I don't need anybody to be talking about sleep while I'm falling asleep. Joe
Oh,
Joe apparently doesn't know me that well, because I must
what?
truly be a random other guy. You didn't know I can sleep anywhere with the lights on?
Really?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, cool. If you fall asleep today while I'm talking, I won't be surprised.
No
And I'll
comment.
be like, Joe!
Oh man, your mic doesn't let you get loud enough, so it just
God
sounds very soothing.
dang it.
Oh,
Joe. It's like, I'm out. Oh, nice.
what the heck is?
Takahashi's looking forward to that sweet, sweet sleep. Tef's looking forward to weeb out today. I don't what does weeb out mean? I must be a noob because I don't know what weeb is.
Yeah, new bow.
Noob. Snowlock's looking forward to actually going back to drawing. Raka's back on step 1. He's thankful for adorable kittens. Oh, he's gonna watch a bunch of anime. Okay, gotcha. All right, that's what weeb out means. That's cool. Jeff's looking forward to juggling 3 shows of audio that landed in his queue this morning, while also dealing with whatever might come out of the morning's meeting. Hey, gonna be an interesting time. Michigan is finally starting to figure out how to open up. We've kind of had that forced upon us because of all the protesting going on. So apparently the governor was just like, yeah, well, hey, open back up then.
Yeah.
Whatever I said before, forget it. It's like, oh, really? What about everything else you said? Should we forget all that too? Like,
I forgot.
yeah, whatever.
I didn't know
So
Jeff could juggle.
Jeff juggles audio like you wouldn't even believe.
Man, what a dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've seen it. It's impressive. But that's step number 2. What are you looking forward to? Step number 3,
Ooh,
what are you gonna do today to move forward? Joe, what are you gonna do today?
probably gonna walk.
You're gonna walk.
Or
That's forward.
yeah.
Forward motion. Good job.
Yeah. Oh man, Joe, I need to get in better shape. Maybe that's what I'm gonna say today. Is I need to exercise more properly
There you go.
by stretching because now I'm old. So
You
you'll
are, man.
understand when you get to 2026 there, Joe.
I know. When I get to 26, I'll feel your pain, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you're gonna exercise today, huh?
Probably not.
You're gonna do? You're gonna do some push-ups, gonna do some
I'm probably just gonna go for a walk.
you're gonna do some handstand push-ups.
I'm gonna push up one.
Hey, there you go.
Oh,
My
things are
hands hurt me.
popping. Oof, that was too tough. I'm done.
No, forget that.
Uh,
Nice. Takahashi procrastinating real hard and finish everything in 30 minutes before the deadline. Nice. Snowlock is going to finish all the missing and upcoming assignments that's been stacked up for 2 weeks. Tef coming to me if you ever need manga recommendation. Hey, there you go. Snowlock knows he's with you. Rocco's looking forward to being one step behind this entire time, and he's going to catch up now. So that was awesome. You guys are awesome. I noticed. Oh, here's Jeff. Jeff, you're usually like the first one. You're slacking, buddy.
well, he's juggling at the same time. It's really hard to type and juggle. I
Hey,
mean,
you got to prioritize, man.
oh, okay.
Really.
Yeah, we're Joe and this other random guy are more important than anything you could be working on.
Whatever you got going for work, that's man, you need to pay attention. Jeff's gonna move ahead to find time to mow some lawn in the later, cooler evening. Yes, it's supposed to be a very hot day. I'm very thankful. I'm going to be inside today, updating my computer to Windows 10. So that might take all day. And even if it doesn't, I might just stay put down where it's nice and cool. Because yeah, it's supposed to be almost 90 today, I think, here.
That's
This is
hot.
ridiculous. It is. It is. So anyway, but that's the 3-step process. What are you thankful for? What are you looking forward to? And what are you going to do today to move your life forward? That process will change your life. Certainly has changed mine. Helped me to get up early in the morning. Joe, you do that long enough, consistently enough,
I'll
you'll be a
fall
morning
asleep in
person.
random places. Oh.
Yeah, you might. You might. So I just thought of something funny, but I'm not going to say it. You can't make me.
I'm not gonna
But yeah,
try. So.
yeah, you're just like whatever. I don't care. But now you're going to be up, dude.
I'm already up. What do you want from me?
Now you're going to have to talk.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I'm about to introduce you.
Oh,
What
hey Joe.
confidence isn't? Yeah, you better. Yeah, take that swig of whatever that is.
Coffee.
Black liquid. Might be coffee. Might be. But anyway, yeah, so today we're talking about confidence and what it is not. Yesterday we talked about what confidence is, what it looks like, what and maybe a few ways to get there. Tomorrow we're going to dig into how to have it. But today we're going to define what it isn't, because there are a lot of things out there that parade around appearing to be confidence, but they actually are not. So Joe is going to unpack this for us. in a way that has never been done before, ever. Joe.
Joe.
I mean, random guy.
Oh yeah.
Random other guy.
Yes,
And I'm
that's
going to
me.
relax.
Perfect. Yes, just sit back, relax, go to sleep. Wait.
It's like, what? You're going to lullaby me. No way.
Oh man.
Not
Uh,
happening.
Joe
I
has a
do.
chair.
Ah, it's very
Nice.
little. You can't. I usually hide it. I hide it well. But today I feel like sitting for a little bit.
Me too.
But every once in a while, you got to stand up and dance.
Then people will just see like my stomach, and that'll look really weird on camera. So I'm not gonna do that. Nice. So yeah, confidence. I obviously not confident in this topic, or I would have started a long time ago. Um, I'm actually gonna take this a different direction than what we talked about before. Joe and I kind of discussed the topics in general of what we want to go after each day, and for some reason, I thought of something completely different because of the way he titled um, the topic, and that is sometimes not being confident and doing things can really change the way that people see you and what you're talking about. I'm actually going to give the example of Paul. He's a biblical figure in the New Testament Bible. And what he talks about in a lot of his letters to the churches is that he's not a very confident speaker. In fact, he knows that when he gets out in front of people, he stumbles across words and he says things he doesn't mean to, and it's not very loud and boisterous, and he can really engage a lot of people that way. Um, and he's like, yeah, that doesn't matter because that's not what's important. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm bad at this. It doesn't matter that um, it's not something I'm confident in. In fact, he says it's far better because people aren't distracted by, oh man, he's a great speaker, like this is awesome. And instead, they're only changed by what he actually says. And so sometimes there are things where if you're not confident, if you're not, um, it's not something you're good at. That effort to do something that you're not good in, really can showcase to other people what you believe in and what's important to you. Because those things are what you do when you're unconfident. So that's not to say that we're not going to get into confidence and its importance, because it really is. Like, there are lots of things you should be confident in. And Paul was confident in a great many things, just not necessarily his speaking ability. So I wanted to tell you that because we're going to talk about this, and this topic doesn't mean you have to be confident in everything that you do. This topic doesn't mean that you need to go out and just, man, I can do anything. I'm gonna go jump off a bridge or something crazy like that. Like, no, please don't. Like, be confident in the things that you work hard in, that you've practiced, and that like you're good at. Okay to be confident. Confidence is not going crazy and thinking you can, you're invulnerable to harm, as it were. And so today, I just want to start it off with, hey, it's okay to be unconfident. Unconfidence is a thing. It's what confidence is not. And sometimes that is actually better for you in what you're trying to achieve.
Mm.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to Joe, who's going to give us some wisdom and probably actually talk more specifically on the topic.
No, I love what you were talking about. I love where you're heading with this because it's true. Anytime we start off in anything, we don't know what we're doing. And so we lack confidence in it. I remember when I started martial arts, I was white belt, Actually, I was a no belt prize winner. Yeah, I had nothing. Like, I just had my uniform on. They're like, it's your first day. If you work hard this whole time, then we'll give you your white belt. And I'm like, okay. So I had no idea what was going on. I just tried to do the best I could with what they were telling me to do, and I was terrible at it and everything. And now, now I'm getting towards my black belt. I'll be testing for my black belt in December. And so now I have a lot more confidence in what I'm doing, in things that, like, there's no way on day one that this would have even been possible. But the cool thing about when you lack confidence at the beginning of something, but you also see that other people have done something, it can cause you to work at it, because you're like, hey, I can get to the point where I'm good at something if I work at it, if I try. And Paul, even though he said, I'm not a good speaker, I'm sure that over the course of his missionary life, he probably got to be better over time because he did it so much. And that's, sometimes just doing something over and over and over again, and then paying attention to what you're doing and trying to figure out, okay, how can I tweak this? How can I adjust it to make it better? That can make you more and more confident in what you're doing, and you'll just get better. And then you will learn to rely on yourself, like we were talking about yesterday. That's what confidence is, to have the assurance that you can trust yourself. You can be self-assured in whatever it is that's going on. And because we're talking mainly about self-confidence rather than like confidence that the floor is going to hold me up, or the ceiling's not going to fall down on me, or whatever, right? That's a different kind of confidence. I noticed Joe very rarely looks up at his ceiling. He's pretty confident that it's not gonna come crashing down on him. He can sleep well at night until his alarm wakes him up. But, what's interesting though? He told me, as before we were starting this week, Joe over there, right there, that Joe, he told me, he's like, "I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think we're gonna be able to be there." And this is 2 days in a row he's been here. He started, like, right on time almost. This is amazing.
I'm still
I'm like
gonna tell you they're not expecting.
I'm super impressed. Like, yeah, I'm amazed. But at any rate, so that's one thing. I mean, to lack confidence at the beginning of a journey, or to lack confidence in some skill, that's totally natural when you start. Absolutely. And what that can do is that can humble you to the point where I'm open to learn, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Because through that learning, then you can grow that confidence that we were talking about yesterday. Now, here's an example of something that masquerades as confidence that is not. Have you ever met anybody that's all talk? I've been that guy before, where I'm all talk and just like, okay, you know, generally I tend not to be that person, because I'm like, okay, it doesn't do me any good to be all talk and say I can do stuff when I can't, because then eventually somebody's going to call me out on it. Probably early on in life, I got called out on it. And so that scarred me. And I was like, but I remember I had this coworker, right? And he was like, this is when I worked in a music store. He used to talk about how great of a bass player he was. And we'd sit there and we'd listen to music, back in the repair shop, we repaired musical instruments, and we'd listen to this guy, Victor Wooten. I don't know if you've ever heard of Victor Wooten, but he's such an incredible bass player. You should look him up and listen to him. The guy is just incredible. And so he's playing all this crazy bass stuff on the CD we're listening to, because back then it was all CDs. There was no such thing as an MP3. I'm 19. And that was when I was like 5. But anyway, so we're listening to this bass playing. He's like, he's doing all this crazy cool stuff. And the guy was that my coworker, he's like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. You hear that? Yeah, I've played that before. And then so I actually went to his house once and I brought my guitar because I was like, hey, let's jam, let's play some music because I was playing guitar at the time. And um and I'm like, let's play some stuff. And he picked up his bass and he barely even knew how to hold it. Like the guy was like a total beginner. And like that's fine. But like he had just spent all this time talking about how he can play all this amazing bass playing stuff that we were just listening to. And I'm like, man, play that thing you were talking about. And he just like, it's kind of like that, right? I'm like, dude. So
I thought
what
you
he
said
was
he was like
doing.
5. Was he older?
No, I was 5. He was old.
He's old. I see.
No, we were both in our mid-20s. But at any rate, but that
Close.
but anyway, but that was one of the things. Like he was all full of how he was talking a big game, and he totally couldn't back it up. And so it's interesting because anytime we do that, we end up exposed eventually.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, you just got to be real. Anytime that you're not really yourself, but you're acting confident. And I mean, sometimes people say, fake it till you make it. I understand the sentiment, but I don't believe in fake it till you make it. I believe in faith it till you make it, which means I have faith that if I continue along this path, I can get good at this, or I can be a better person, or whatever. I can be this thing that I'm envisioning. But to just say, well, I am that already, it's you're kind of lying to yourself, and you end up kind of going down the path toward arrogance and being all talk and no action. And it's interesting. So one of the things, if you can humble yourself and be okay with saying, hey, you know what, at the beginning of any endeavor, I am not good at it, then that can say, all right, well, if I'm not good at it now and I want to be, all it's going to take is consistent effort over time, and I can be there. And then when you're there, then you have that natural confidence. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say, I'm good at this. You just are. And so you don't ever say anything. But then when the time comes to actually perform that task, all your experience comes out and you're like, hey, I'm comfortable doing this. I can. That's a calm, serene, not brash or arrogant, not any of that stuff. It's just like, hey, I know what I'm doing. So anyway, hopefully that makes some sense. I'm turning it back to you, random other guy.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
I'm the random other guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna talk about what confidence isn't again. So those were good things. Confidence is definitely not faking who you are or what you do. Um, and I think we're gonna kind of continue on that topic of and then get into this idea of confidence is not pride or
Hmm.
egotism or arrogance. Confidence is much more. Uh, I'm gonna say withdrawn, but not. It's much more not over the top. It's not showing off. It's not putting yourself out there and trying to be something you're not. Confidence is understanding how good you are at something and living that out. So, for instance, I used to be a professional golfer, a golf pro. I was not on any tours or anything, but I was good at golf, and so
And it was
um,
your profession that you made money at.
yes, so pretty dang
That's a
good.
professional.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't. Yep, definitely. So I was not bad at golf, but I had this bad habit of saying I'm all right. I'm just kind of all right at golf. Like I'm in the top like 3% of players at that stage, like globally.
Mm.
Because if you don't know how like being pro at anything works, like pro people you watch on TV and stuff, they're like the top like half of 0.1%. Like it's a really small number of people, like really really tiny.
Wait, 0.15%.
Close. Um, so I mean, it's
15 hundredths of a percent.
right, something like that. It's
Oh,
Ryan's got it.
right.
Um,
There we go.
so it's tiny. It's a really really small figure, and what you find is when you look at yourself on charts of things you spend time doing, you'll often find yourself like on a bell curve, like towards the top. The thing is, like once you're playing people who are at your skill level and better, it feels like you're not as good because you Joe wrote an article about this on Blackstack and Swerve a long time ago. You're playing the comparison game.
Mm. Mm.
You're playing this idea of comparing yourself against pretty much just the best people and not like, hey, here's how everyone does it this. And not, hey, I'm doing better than I did yesterday. You're comparing yourself against like the best people that are there. Um, so you don't want to do that because then you don't know how good you actually are, and it can really make what you're doing not enjoyable. The reverse is also true. So if you look at that graph and you just look at like the bottom 2% of people, and that's what you compare yourself against, um, you're gonna think very poorly of others. And this is kind of what we wanted to get at. Something the reason we didn't want you to uh, interchange pride or arrogance or ego for confidence, because that's not helpful to you and it's not helpful to others. It doesn't advance you. It doesn't help you to learn. It doesn't help you to grow. And it definitely doesn't help other people when you put them down because they think differently than you or they're not as good as you at a certain topic or task. It's important to know what you're good at.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to know what other people are good at.
Mm-hmm.
That that's how you build good communities. Is oh, this person's really good at this. I think our community is really good at that. Pointing out,
Mm-hmm.
man, you're really good at this thing, or you're really good at this thing, and then also saying you're not as good at this thing. But you know, not that that changes how we think of you. There's just some things where hey, you need some more work on this, or you need some additional practice in this area. Like that's an okay thing to say to people. I would hope you would tell me, hey, Joe, you could really work on I don't know some me. I'm speaking in the third person again, and I forget that we're in a show where there's two of us.
It's like, Joe, what?
Yeah, I talk to myself in the third person, but basically, where I, you know, I would like you guys to tell me, hey, Joe, here's how you could do something different. Here's how you could be better at your show. Here's how you could engage the chat a little bit better. Here's how you could set up the stream to look cooler. Here's how you could do anything because I guarantee you that this stream right now is not perfect.
Mm-mm.
Um, this
And it's
is
YouTube's fault.
it's all YouTube's fault.
Sponsored by YouTube.
So I mean, I have enough confidence to know, hey, we can make this show work on a daily basis. I do not have enough confidence to say, oh yeah, this is like the most professional show on YouTube right now. You should all come watch it. Do I think everyone should come watch it? Yes. Do I think it's the most professional show on YouTube? Doubtful. The static
Mm.
piece is self confidence isn't knowing your fight will be flawless, it's knowing that you'll fight. Interesting statement,
Mm.
actually. Um, I would prefer not to fight if I don't think it's going to go flawlessly. I'm very pain averse. That
That's my
reminds
fake sword.
that reminds me of we make lots of references on this show. Um, Indiana Jones, the first one. Uh,
Indiana Jones, the first one.
yeah, it's not the is it
That's
the
the
Raiders of the
title.
Lost Ark?
Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay, see, that's the first one.
Yeah.
But there's the guy with the sword. It's about confidence. It's about knowing what you're good at. So there's a guy who like draws a sword on Indiana Jones, like doing all these sweet sword moves, and Indy's like, "Yeah, I definitely can't beat that." So he just pulls out his pistol and shoots the guy. So, know what you're good at. If it's not sword fighting, probably shouldn't sword fight a guy who's a professional sword fighter. Um, so again, ego, ego, arrogance, pride would say, "Oh, I've got to beat this guy at a sword fight." But self confidence says, "I'm a much better shot," and
Hmm.
that's kind of where we want you to be. It's like, yes, like Ryan talks about, be ready for a fight. It can be anything. Be ready to put your best foot forward in something that you know you're good in, or in something that you're working on, whatever it is. Know where you are, and that's going to help you to grow the most.
Hmm.
And just avoid the other entrapments of the comparison. So, with that, I'm gonna pass it back to Joe. Good
Got it. Thank you.
catch. Good catch.
Ah, it was a lucky catch, actually. Almost dropped it. Um, I do. I'm glad Static is here. I have to say something, because one of the things, he is a true professional musician, and he is so good. And one of the things that you start to understand about people who are confident in their craft is, I'm sure, as Joe experienced in the golfing world, Static experiences in the music world. It's like, once you get to a certain level and you realize that you are in the middle of a vast ocean of knowledge and ability and skill, and you are barely scratching the surface. Even at the high level that you're at, you realize, man, there's so much more I can learn. There's so much more I can do to tweak my ability. And Ryan is always on that quest. He's like, okay, how can I make this next song better? And I'm sure when golfers are in that top half of a percent, or top 0.05% or whatever, they're always sitting there figuring out, okay, how can I make this just a little bit better? How can I give myself a little more of an edge over the competition? How can I do better? And it becomes this whole vast world
Mm.
beyond the basics. It's like my martial arts instructor says. He's like, yeah, once you're a black belt, that's the beginning.
Mm.
Like, a lot of people say, man, once I get my black belt, then I've accomplished it, right? And it's true. It's a major accomplishment to get there, for sure. You go through a lot of levels, a lot of tests to get to the point where you can test for your black belt, and before you get there. And he's like, that's the beginning of the journey. Because then once you're there, then you start doing, then you get into the actual martial artist stuff, right? I mean, everything starts to change. And you start to do way more advanced stuff. I've been watching my oldest son. He achieved his black belt last December, and all of the stuff he's working on now, like, is way advanced. I'm like, oh man, that looks cool. I can't wait till I get to do stuff like that. You know, he's in all these way advanced forms and blocks and different double kicks and all kinds of crazy. Like, it's amazing. But it's so true. Like, when you're beginning something, you don't have any idea. You're not confident. And it's okay, because you build the confidence by learning. And then when you get to finally trust yourself, I love what Static said. Confidence is the knowledge that you are going to fight. What is it? Let me go back to quote him again. Yeah, a lot of. I missed it. I missed it, Ryan. What was it? Self-confidence isn't knowing your fight will be flawless. It's knowing that you will fight. It's knowing that, hey, you know what? I'm going to do what it takes, even if it's not perfect. Even if I mess it up, even if I have times of failure, even if you know, but I'm just going to go forward anyway, and I'm going to try. And I'm not going to be loud about it. I'm not going to be arrogant about it. I'm not going to walk around thinking I'm all that, because once you get there, once you get to that point where like Joe is in the top 3% of golfers, or like the people you see on TV in the top 0.05% of golfers, you probably don't see very many of them going around, man, I'm so great. Yep. Won my beer league this week, like no, these guys just quietly work on their craft. They just quietly go about it, and they're like, "Okay, boom. You wanna learn," like, people will come to them to learn, and they'll just teach. They'll be like, "Okay, yep, switch here, switch here." My martial arts instructor, he knows how I learn, and so he knows that he can explain things to me, and so I'm always all about the littlest details, like, okay, so I'm kicking, my toes are pointed, my foot needs to be above my belt, but then what is my other foot doing? Where am I turning it? Okay, so I'm pivoting my plant foot to point to the back. Now am I pivoting that on the ball of my foot, or am I pivoting it on my heel? Like, and so I'll ask all these questions, to move forward. And he patiently, not arrogant, he's not mean, he's not, he's just like very precise. He's like, okay, yep, this. And it reminds me, okay, he's a 4th degree black belt. He's been through many, many, many years of training. And he doesn't ever have to say anything. He just doesn't. And he's nice to people around him. And he's confident in his ability. There are a lot of 1st degrees that talk about how great they are. But then, like, this gentleman who's a 4th degree, he's quiet and he just knows his stuff. So it's an amazing thing. Snorlax says, sounds cliche, but like, sure, you can have high ego and take criticism. He says, may I add my 2 cents to this and say this to anyone who's discouraged in drawing art? Keep your ego high. It sounds weird, but trust me on this. Believe in yourself. Don't be afraid or discouraged. Yeah. Now, we're not talking about, like what Joe was saying, like a pride or arrogance, but yes, understand, I can do this. I can. You can have faith in yourself. You can believe that even if your ability isn't there right now, even if you're not exactly where you want to be, which when you become a true professional, you'll never be where you want to be. There's always a way to improve. There's always a way to get better. And when you realize, hey, I've come along this journey so far and I'm going to continue, like Ryan was talking about, knowing that you're going to continue, you have a healthy confidence. And it's an amazing thing, and you don't have to be all talk. So anyway, I'm sure we have talked plenty about this whole thing. Hopefully some good nuggets came out for you. But you're absolutely right, Snowlog. When you have a healthy confidence, when you have that, I would say a healthy ego, criticism, you're just like, yep, hey, you know what? Doesn't matter. I know where I'm at. You can say whatever you want about me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to just continue. Yep. If your ego's high enough, and when someone's better than you, you want to beat them, and that leads to self-improvement. Sure. Sure. There's this 14-year-old girl that once we get back to sparring, I'm gonna kick her onto the floor. Because she kicked me to the floor. I'm like, I'm gonna return the favor. Actually, I probably won't. But she got me a good one. She did.
Get it.
At any rate, Joe, do you have anything else to wrap up? No?
Nope.
You're
Good
good?
work, Joe.
All right. Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what. Oh my gosh, that's bright on my face.
Oh my goodness, yeah. You're being abducted, it looks like.
I know. It's just like, ah. Snowlock. When someone gives you criticism, you want to prove them wrong. You get better and shove it in their face. There is some truth in that. But when you find that when you get there, you don't even need to shove it in their face. You just do it. And it silences them. Or it doesn't. And they keep talking, but they're lying to themselves and to the rest of the world because the rest of the world sees that you actually did it. And they're just chicken talking, basically.
Mm-hmm. Or if it's like Joe, you just kick them in the face and then they go on the mat and then you win. And then they're not talking very much because you just kicked them in
the face. I was sparring this dad. We have the dad group, there's a handful of dads that take martial arts too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll spar. And I did this. This one dad was much closer to the beginning stages than me. And so I did like this triple, like I did a round kick or a spinning round kick followed by a reverse hook kick and all this stuff. So I was basically spun around 3 times and did 3 kicks, in succession on him. And I totally caught him off guard. The poor guy, he's like, okay, next time. And when I was sparring the next guy, he's like, watch out for that triple kick. He does that. Oh, there it is. There it is. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. So he's like coaching my opponents, on how to beat me.
Get right, Joe. You're telegraphing your moves to everyone.
But anyway, so Friday is Free for All Friday. What are we talking about this Friday? Oh, it's the hot dog bun mystery.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So if you have a topic for us, you can post it in the chat there. If you wanted us to, if there's something you want us to talk about on Friday, it's free for all. Or you can go there, post it there. We'd be happy to handle whatever you want us to talk about. Free for all. One of these Fridays, I'm going to be like, hey, how's Joe doing waking up in the morning? Let's talk about that. Joe?
I'll be over here like sleeping.
So,
actually push us live again early and just be like sleeping on this side desk here.
I'll ask that question and then all of a sudden you'll hear do because Joe will be like, nope, I quit. Off it goes.
Yeah.
But and yep, this week it's the Great Hot Dog Bun Mystery posted by Amira. She posted it in the chat. And you can totally do that too, or put it in the comment section. We'll be able to grab it there as well. So at any rate, we really appreciate you guys being here with us today. And
stuck with us to the end.
You did, man. Look at all you guys. You guys look good. And we appreciate you guys a lot. Come back tomorrow. We're going to talk about how in the world do you build this confidence in yourself. We talked about a little bit today about how practice, and working on something consistently over time, that does it. But then how inside you, how do you build this confidence? This is a multifaceted thing. And we by no means are experts, but we've learned a few things. We've tried and failed many times. And so through that, attempting and failing, we've learned some stuff. So come on back tomorrow and we'll talk about that. And you can feel free to correct us if there's something we're wrong about. We love to hear about it.
We're wrong a lot too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very confident in the fact that I am incorrect many times. So at any rate, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been a real pleasure. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.